Okay, hello students, we will continue to the next video in the medication error explanation. Okay, I will start with the questions. Is LASA medication error? Do you remember LASA is look like, sound like drug? Yeah. Okay, anyone? Yeah, please answer by yourself. Yeah, is LASA medication error or not? And the correct answer is yes. Yeah. Absolutely, the LASA is also medication error. Some data report that more than 33,000 brand name of drug, and there are 9,000 generic drugs in the US. Yeah, in 2005. So there are a lot of name of drug, and also there are a potential sound like drug and look alike drug. Yeah, and there are about 3,000 pairs. Yeah, 3,000 pairs, yeah, of LASA drugs, yeah, in USA based on the USP. Okay, and it can cause unclear order, incorrect oral order, or lack verification or recheck, and poor work environment. Yeah, sometimes the look alike drug will cause the error because the pharmacist take a wrong drug. Yeah. Okay, how to prevent this? There are the guideline, namely Tolman lettering or Tolman letters. Yeah, so this guideline is writing of drug name in the package, label, package, or container at primary package, patient medication record, automatic dispensing machine with different letter size. Yeah, this guideline is published by FDA and ISMP, Institute for Safe Medication Practices. This guideline is require the practice of writing part of a drug's name in uppercase letter. Yeah, so the different part of the name of drug written in uppercase letter. This is the example for chlorpromazine and chloropropamide. Yeah, for chlorpromazine, we use uppercase in mazine and use uppercase in pamide. Yeah, and then prednisolone, or dimenhydrinate and diphenhydramine, or hydralazine and hydroxyzine. Yeah, so the potential of wrong if written in the tall letter. Yeah. Okay, if you see this sample, the packaging label is very confusing, make you confused. Yeah, they are same color, only differences between the two line and one line. Yeah, but the name of drug is very different. This is the hydroxyzine hydrochloride, and this grade also hydrochloride, but hydralazine. Yeah, this is package label without Tolman lettering. Yeah, and I think this is important to you to apply, and especially for the industry and government to apply this guideline in every country. Yeah. Okay, and how if the medication error was occur? What should we do? Yeah. Okay, first you should assess, and this guideline also will help you to make an SOP or standard operating procedure in preventing medication error. Yeah, there are several medication error index from A to I. Yeah, the blue ones is no error, the category is A, and the orange one is error but no harm for the patient. The yellow one is error and give harm to the patient. The category is start from E until H, and the last one is a green one, but actually the green one is not the safest, yeah. The green one is the death, yeah, the medication error that caused death in the patient, yeah. Okay, let's see from the A to EI, yeah. From the A, the category A is circumstances or events that have the capacity to cause errors. So in A category, the error is not occurred, yeah, but have a possibility, but error not occurred, yeah. And the next category is B, C, and D. This category B is error occurred but did not reach the patient, yeah. So okay, so for example in transcribing error or prescribing error, it can be concluded to B category if pharmacists have solved the problem, yeah. In the category C, an error occur and have reached the patient, yeah, but did not cause patient harm, yeah. For example, the dosage form, yeah, the dosage form, you give solution, yeah, or suspension, but it should be tablet, yeah, in a same dose, yeah, for example. And the next category is category D. In this category, the error reach the patient and patient need monitoring to confirm that it resulted in no harm to the patient or required next intervention, yeah. So if the error need to monitor, okay, to conclude to the next step, yeah. So it can be concluded to category D. Okay, how about category E? In the category E, an error occurred that may have contributed or resulted in temporary harm and required intervention. So if you have a pharmacist found that patient got any harm but temporary and required intervention, it conclude in category E, yeah. So this continue from category D, yeah. In F category, the occur is result in temporary harm and require initial or prolonged hospitalization. In category G, error occur and contributed to permanent patient harm, yeah. For example, the permanent patient harm is organ decrease in organ function, yeah. If the error is require intervention in a whole of the rest of life, yeah, or need intervention necessary to sustain life, it can be concluded to the H category. For example, if the harm is caused the decreased function in heart, maybe, yeah, or yeah, but it is like information, yeah, or from the cytotoxic drugs, yeah. From the cytotoxic drugs, some organ will also affected and need intervention necessary to sustain life, yeah. So it can be concluded to the H category. And the last one is resulted in patient death, yeah. Okay, this is the table that I have explained before on the previous slide, and I will explain you more how the algorithm, yeah, when you assess the medication error. Okay, this is the NCC MERP index for categorizing medication error algorithm. This is the NCC MERP index classify into harm, monitoring, intervention, and necessary to sustain life, yeah. The definition of harm is define the impairment of the physical, emotional, or physiological function or structure of the body and or pain resulting therefrom. Yeah, so if the patient feel not feeling well or change the emotional after consume the drug, it can be also conclude in harm. Yeah, monitoring is if the patient need to monitor regularly to the physiological or physiology and psychology sign. Yeah, and the intervention is may include change in the therapy or active medical or surgical treatment. Yeah, for sustained life, if included cardiovascular and respiratory support in a long term. Yeah. Okay. If you find any event that have the capacity to cause occur, please assess did an actual error occur or not. If not, you can categorize to A. And then if the error is have been occurred, okay, please see did error reach the patient or not. If the error reached this patient, so you should analyze to the next step. But if the error not reach the patient, so the category is B. Yeah. Okay, when the error is reached the patient, please see that the error contribute to the patient death or not. If yes, directly to the I category. But if no, you should assess also is patient harm or not because of the error. If no, yeah, if no harm, also assess that patient need extra monitoring or not. Yeah, if need extra monitoring, this category is D. But if patient got the error and harm, yeah, error and harm, but no needed extra monitoring requirement, the category is C. Yeah. Next, if the patient got harm from the medication, assess did patient require intervention necessary to sustain life. Okay. Okay, yeah. If yes, yeah, if patient need to intervention necessary to sustain life, C was the permanent harm or not. This is related with the cardiovascular or respiratory, yeah, or the other system that should be that may affect the whole or long time in the rest of patient life. Yeah, if the harm permanent, there are no harm permanent, the category is H. But if the harm permanent is yes, categorized to G. Yeah. Okay, if the patient require intervention necessary to sustain life, did not require, yeah, if patient did not require, see the harm is temporary or not. If not, or it is same with the permanent. Yeah. Okay, the category is G. Okay, but is the harm is on the temporary. C, is it need to hospitalization or not? If need if need hospitalization, okay, category is F. But if not, category is E. Okay, just follow this guideline to assess the medication error that occur in the patient. Yeah, it also will help you to prepare the standard operating procedure in preventing medication error. Okay, we back to slide, yeah. Okay, and how to prevent the medication error? The first, yeah, internationally, there are a division for the patient safety target. Okay, for the patient safety target, this is the standard in increasing the safety of high alert medication. Yeah. So this standard, international standard, yeah. Actually, this is some accreditation program apply this standard to patient safety aspect. Yeah, hospital should develop an approach to improve the safety of high alert medication. Yeah, what is high alert medication? What high alert medication? You remember? This is high medication that can cause error on serious error. Yeah. And drugs with high risk of causing adverse outcome such as LASA drugs. Yeah. And from this high alert medication, for the guideline, every satellite pharmacy, inpatient care facility, polyclinic must have list of high alert medication. So in every healthcare facility, especially in pharmacies facility, should have this list. Yeah. And then every healthcare professional should be trained, yeah, about how to handling this medication. Yeah. And high alert medication must be stored separately with limited access and with clear label. Yeah. Okay, this is the list of high alert medication. Maybe you still remember the one of the high alert medication is insulin, anticoagulant, dextrose, high concentrate, yeah, some parenteral nutrition, or sterile water for injection. Yeah, and how we prevent the medication error from the medication from a whole of process. The first one is from the government. In Indonesia, the government involved is Badan POM. I think in Malaysia, some agency like Badan POM also established in Malaysia. In this guideline, the government should arrange and publish the regulation on packaging or regulation of regulation in drug registration. Yeah. So when the industry want to register the drug, please also evaluate the category of drugs and what special handling maybe, yeah, or special condition, special events, yeah, related with the drugs. Yeah. And the next step is the product information should be explained well. Yeah. And the government should make sure about this industry have apply this. Yeah. Okay, I think this is the last slide for this segment, and I will continue about the preventive action by the other part of medication error.